also a print shop called Mirror Image in Boston area. And we have a shop talk with Bruce Ackerman of Printavo today about marketing on a shoestring. This is all sponsored by Haynes and Hirsch and Impressions, who puts on this show. They let us pick all the speakers. We pick people actually that know what they're doing, and Bruce is one of these people. So we'll have a little talk. I might interrupt him and ask a few questions along the way, and then we'll have questions from all of you. And then afterwards, we'll both be around if you're too shy to ask publicly your questions. All right. Hey, Bruce. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're excited that I may be one of these people that know what they're doing, but I still feel like so early in trying to, I feel like we've gotten to stage 1, but there's 50 stages. So I'm really excited. Feel free to make this super interactive too. I was in your guys' shoes, especially in the marketing aspect, and when you don't have $5,000 for a crazy sponsorship. So I'm really excited just to be able to help give the tips and things that I learned, and just to kind of really hack it through and create a strong brand to be able to grow off.
So you want to start with maybe how long has Printavo been going, and where did it start and where is it now?
Yeah, so I actually started as a screen printer too. I went to the University of Illinois in Champaign, and we were on campus. We were printing a ton. As you know, if you're by a campus, there's so much apparel that, like bar crawl shirts and Greek and, campus shirts, all that stuff. So as back in, this was 2009, 2010 area, really exciting just to be able to get into it, learning the business and growing. And we needed software to help manage our company. That's where I couldn't find anything that was easy to use, and built Printavo. Fast forward to today, we help thousands of shops keep track of where their workflow is. But I'm really, really passionate about the brand aspect and about the marketing aspect, and especially just helping shops continue to grow, because we have such an exposure now to so many different companies that we can help give best practices that we see, really around the world now. So it's neat.
All right. So how do you market a company with no money?
Yeah. So, it's funny because even money, let alone marketing and other things that you have to spend money on, you can see a lot of companies that are that maybe 5-10 years ahead of you and doing really cool big events and things like that. But I think the reality is you do what you can with what you have. So it's almost like a toothpaste bottle, right? Like when you're at the very end of the toothpaste tube, you're like really getting your thumbs in there and like trying to squeeze it out, and you get the tip and you just rub and you're like, okay, perfect, right? But when you have the big toothpaste tube, you're kind of a little bit more lax in it. It drops in the sink, you just wash it off and move on. So marketing, especially spending dollars in that area, is just like that. You have a really, really unique business that you can use to help leverage where you guys are at. Nobody knows you're one person or two people or a garage, or in a garage, or in your basement, or even a couple people, right? So what we always use is the number one on top is acting way bigger than you actually are, right? And that means basic things, saying we. I literally said we when it was one person before, and just constantly talking about, we'll review that, we'll take a look at that. The image that we put off too, the marketing materials, the website materials, the way we went up to bigger clients and act like that, had no business being there, but they didn't know that we had literally a 4x4 like Riley back at the shop, barely any light, and definitely not to code and all this other stuff. It was just that I had that connection. Yeah, I mean, are we recording that?
Yes.
But they didn't know that, right? And your customers usually don't either. And especially if you have the shop and then they go to it, it's part of creating the environment. It's the brand, it's like can everybody please silence their...
No.
No, you're good. But it's that creating, I think the first initial piece is just truly creating that brand perception that you're bigger than what you guys actually are. anything that the customer experiences creates and is a piece of your marketing and a piece of your brand and the feel that your customers get when they interact with your business, right? So what do you want them to feel, to smell, like so for example, even how quickly do you respond to phone calls or emails? Do you answer, does the phone just ring all the time and doesn't even answer, right? All these things, anything that the customer can touch or see, builds and creates your brand perspective. When you go into an Apple store and you get approached by someone and they have the wooden tables and the feel and the natural light, right? It's all how they want you to feel in that business. And you guys can do exactly that same things. So I guess that's the
wooden
first piece.
tables. That's the
Wooden tables, that's the key. Oak. Oak.
So what's the second thing?
So honestly, the second thing with the marketing aspect is I feel like using your personality and who you are and your niche in the business and like exploding it from there. So what this means is that I was always like curious about what people were doing, or I had no problems going up to someone and saying, hey, that's really cool. You like, tell me more about that. Or, hey, I just wanted to show you that we're here. And that was the vibe that I created. And that's how I start to bring in initial initial customers, especially for our shop and for our business, Printavo, after. We would go and I would print out, this is like a little tips, because we're on campus, we would print out like thousands of postcards of Vistaprint, and then I would just leave them all over. And then I would get email addresses and email regularly every 2 weeks. Something unique about what we printed, a little special. The fact that we were student run, that was our little niche on campus, right?
This is pre-Instagram.
This is actually, yeah, you're right. Pre-Instagram, more Facebook related, but I think as screen printers too, so much of your business early on can come from just local and friends and family first. And then once you tap that, you got to meet others. But I still think especially that email is the cheapest and most ROI return on your time spent with generating good sales back. So if any customer comes into your business, you absolutely have to get their email address, right? So, and if you're not collecting that info now, create your steps for your employee to do that. So any new customer needs first name, last name, email, maybe phone, company name, for example. No exceptions, unless they're like, they don't want to give it out or something like that. But really, really important because it drives return business after. You're going to find that the majority of business is going to come from a smaller group of people that are good quality customers, that are profitable, and that's how you'll continue to grow. I mean, we would email blast out.
So if you, so you were involved in production still then, so what percentage of your time did you kind of put aside to do these email blasts every 2 weeks, et cetera? Like in terms of like percentage of your time spent
20
doing
minutes.
Like okay.
It was I tried more of a kind of nice looking, like designed up with an image, and you get those more newsletter type of emails, and then also more personal emails. So, hey, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Bruce. We run a student-run printing business on campus, and we help print a lot of custom shirts. We just did one for College of Business. We'd love to give you 5% off your first order, and we would send those out every 2 weeks, and that was driving crazy amount of sales for us really early on. Yeah, go ahead.
And when you were doing your email blast, were you doing like a constant contact, or were you just sending out?
The question is using a program like Constant Contact or just sending them from your email?
MailChimp. Just use MailChimp. MailChimp.com. Yeah.
What do you consider a good open rate?
What's a good open rate?
So right now, it totally depends on your market. So people who are already our customer will open at about 20%. I think that's fairly on the higher end, but 5 to 10. I mean, the thing is
I feel pretty good. I think we had like 30 or something on
really?
our in-kitchen
oh, shit.
one.
All right, we're just going to do the rest of this talk then.
That's who's responsible, Pam, right there.
Yeah, the more personalized and customized and less like business think, it's weird. Like when you write an email, you tend to think of it in you put on your business hat, and then, dear John, warm regards this week, I hope, but people are opening the emails as if it's your neighbor. So how would you write to your neighbor as an email? Like, hi, John, just wanted to let you know about this. We're setting this up. Bruce, like really short, just like you, everybody else is busy. So that'll help. Neighbor,
huh? Like Mr. Rogers, like that?
Yeah, that's how, literally, when I write those out, I always think about if they're our neighbor, how do we put something in that's, take off the business hat and put on the neighbor hat.
So what else?
So the email is huge. We use the email so heavily, and we drove, like as students, we were doing like 40, 50K a month in sales like really, really quickly, which I was like, whoa, this is crazy. There's just so much going on. A lot of things are happening. What we then started to get into, and when I took into Printavo, which I think took us to like a much bigger scale of marketing, was content. So Luke is here. Luke manages our content now at Printavo. But I felt that forms of content were so important to positioning us long term as like an industry leader. And content is anything. It's Instagram and social, it's YouTube videos, it's blog articles, it's whatever you're good at and you care about, and you just documenting your process of things happening. And it's whatever your customers find helpful too, right? So content works in like 2 years of doing content over and over and over again. So that's why starting now is really, really important. Now don't take that and be like, oh shoot, I'll do it later. What I do is literally I would put 30 minutes every morning and record something. Because I was good at the video, I can't read very well. That's why Luke is awesome at writing, because I was like, man, you kill it. So you own that.
Bruce, eat the mic more because it's feeding back.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So what I did was I took 30 minutes every morning and I thought about what would my customers find helpful in video form that I can record on my laptop really quickly. And I did that every single morning and put it out. And I posted it. I use a tool called buffer.com, buffer.com. And you use it to post, and it posts out to all your channels for you at once. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I don't know, whatever. Now, like TikTok could be good depending on your type of audience. But I would record that content video every single morning and just put it out and put it out and put it out. It wasn't as much of an SEO type of help as it was just helpful for my customers. Like,
there's some other programs that do the same thing. So you do all the channels at once.
Exactly.
So you don't have to load it into everything separately.
Yeah, it's such a time sink to doing that kind of stuff. So it posts out.
It's not expensive, I don't think either.
No, they have like a starter $9 a month, or maybe it's free first and then $9, something like that. But the time that you'll save from syncing it to each article or each channel is immense.
So you post it every day?
Yeah, for like a year.
Actually, well, you know what? In Kitchen, we did an article a day for a full year, actually.
Yeah.
So same thing, kind of content. You can do it. You can do it.
Yes, and again, whatever you're good at or feel comfortable at, the video you definitely feel weird, but it's just practice like anything else, like screen printing. It's like, yeah, you're not going to register your first job and you're going to burn it and it's going to crack. So, but then you won't do that in a month. Same exact thing. So the video was really, really big. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, so your videos that you put out, especially at this point with the shop endorsements, is that all organic reach, or like when you put it?
So the question is the content budgeted for like the shop visits you do, et cetera, or is it happen organically?
Yeah, so unfortunately Facebook, they make you pay really to push it further. So we'll put a budget of every post of like $20, $30 now. Before I didn't do that because we just didn't have that. We're posting almost every day, so that's a lot. Now, fortunately, we can, but then no, I just posted it and it was helpful again. And you got your email list. That's another channel that's really helpful. So you could put your top video or something in the email list and also send that one out. Yeah, so this all ties to, this content is so helpful when people talk about SEO. it ends up like helping to generate your SEO in your niche.
What's
So-
SEO?
Search, good question. So it's search engine optimization. So when people search for screen printing shop software, Printavo comes up in the first couple. Any related keyword, Printavo comes up. So you guys could have Columbus, Ohio screen printing or custom t-shirts, Columbus, Ohio, for example, right? There's going to be some Google ads that are going to show up that people are buying these keywords. And then there's going to be the natural results. You can get your way up to these natural results. There's no hacks really to do this. It's a couple things. Number one, it's really good keywords on your website. Are you talking about Columbus, Ohio screen printing? Do you have blog posts about Columbus, Ohio screen printing? Do you have it literally like the best Columbus, Ohio screen printer on your website in a couple different spots? And then the other one is links. So links from other people to your site and your site to other people. The way to quickly get that is forums. So you go on a forum, like like if you're in Columbus and there's a forum for business owners or something like that, put it in your signature as your website, and then like the Columbus, Ohio screen printer. When you post, every single time you post, that's links back to your website. So it's more and more link, and it helps build that engine for you to be able to show up in Google Hire. That's the quickest way of doing it. There's other ways that we
You're
can
not making
press.
this stuff up either. Like your company did
Yeah.
rise doing these things.
Look on
right?
T-shirt forums. If you ever, before Facebook groups were really big, there the guys are from T-shirt forums actually. This is exactly how we did it then. I was active on T-shirt forums. I posted my email signature or my signature there, but I was in it. Like I was always commenting and going back and forth. And that natural juice helps drive traffic back, and Google sees that as positive, and they're like, wow, there's a lot of talk about t-shirts here and all these links back to printavo.com. That must be valuable. Your rankings go higher. That happens with any other type of website. So you could do it with press news outlets. There's a shop called Envision Tees that does a lot of local press, I notice, and they get articles in there, and they get their names and links in the articles, and then they send it back. The way to get into press, which is another free way and a really, really great way to market to a brand new audience, is just throw an event. Throw an open house, something that's really cool. Free Learn How to Print Day. Jared back there in the beard does a really great local print day where kids can bring in their shirts, or they pay like $10 for a shirt and they print. The parents come in, you can advertise it in local news outlets, and then that also helps generate the sales there. It's maybe you get some food or things like that. The parents are the ones with the buying power, and then they're like, oh, actually we've got something that may be coming up, and it can help drive some sales for that too.
I think that we're about done. Any pressing questions? And then Bruce will be around to answer for a little bit after this
Yeah.
too. Yeah. And also he's a very approachable guy, and you can find him Facebook, what have you, and
Yeah.
ask him questions. Any other questions want to ask?
Do you find that your content strategy has been able to organically represent the content?
So does content alone or budget get higher optimization of?
Yeah. So we do
Search
both.
engine.
We pay for ads words now to show up once, and then we have the SEO that shows up again. So double. Yeah, more visibility. I mean, the reality is that consumers need to see you multiple times before they make a good decision of buying something. They're looking at you on Yelp, they're looking at you here, they're looking at you there, and then when they finally make a decision, then they come in. So that's where you got to get every view, whether they see a postcard, then they meet you at something, then they see you on Google, then they see an ad, and then they make the buy.
14 times, right? Isn't that it? They used to
It's
say
something
that.
like 7, 8. I think people just throw out numbers like marketers.
It used to be
you know.
14. Everybody came up with. I never saw anybody actually show hard data on that one.
No, I don't see it either.
All right. How about a hand for Bruce?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate having me.